Thank you very much, Pastry Time. Right now, we are happy to be joined by XDG's top laner, Benny. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Well, it's going to be great with you at the desk all day. And of course, I'm going to start off by asking you maybe a reaction to your game yesterday versus Gambit.
Okay, so Gambit clearly just dominated us. Like, not saying that we lost early game, but they clearly showed out to be the better team. And overall, they had like better synergy. Like, their team fights are really that's pretty much why we lost. Like, they out-team fought us like crazy.
How do you fix that? How do you come back? How do you bounce back from that loss and say, well, next time we can potentially beat them? Because, from Worlds to now, it's been a similar sort of recipe.
Well, like, the first thing we have to do is find out why we lost. Like, and to do that, we analyze the replay, see what different roles could have done differently. Like, say, for my top lane on the second game, I let Warwick freeze the lane when I should have just went to push. Like, that's just in retrospect, just like thinking about it afterwards. And I guess that's just what we have to do. Like, take each step little by little. Like, it is a growing process. Like, we are tired of losing to Gambit. Like, even though we could have won like at least 2 games, I think we could have gone 2-2 with them. But we're definitely not tired of learning from our mistakes. Like, and that being said, we just watch our replays and learn from it.
Yeah, but don't worry, nothing is lost for North America yet. As today, we're going to see Fnatic go up against Cloud9, and especially the top lane matchup is something that you were wondering about.
Yeah, I've got some questions about this. As a top laner yourself, talk to me and compare and contrast the top laners in this matchup between Cloud9's Balls and Fnatic's Soaz. We're in 3.14, the Bruiser meta. What's your take on the players, the matchup? Who's going to have the advantage?
Okay, so I feel like Balls and Soaz, they're known to be very versatile players, and they're known to have their own champions. Well, Balls more so than Soaz. Soaz is known for being able to play every champion well, like not having a particular main, whereas Balls, he's an all-around solid player, and his Rumble is really solid. Like, everyone knew his Rumble was his best champion. That's why he's banned out so much in the first season. And this being said, like, the meta being shifted more towards the tank meta, I feel like it's a little more on Soaz's edge, just because, for example, in group stages, when we were against them, he played Zac and Yorick, and they're really tanky champions in general. And Balls still, like, I think his last showing, he played, like, Rumble still. Which, I'm not saying anything bad about it. He's a spectacular Rumble. But just this being said, I feel like Soaz is a little more comfortable in the tanky meta. But, I mean, not to talk down on Balls, he's a solid player, and he could pick it up easily.
Generally, if you think more for the entire game, what do you think is the main thing that Cloud9 has to do differently to beat Fnatic this time around?
It's hard to say because Fnatic is such a versatile team in general, and they, like, say during Worlds they ran double TP, and then like Royal was the team that knew how to stop it by like banning out those particular champions like Castan and Lissandra. And I don't remember the last tournament that Fnatic's played in, and it's just over this break where we haven't seen them, like Cloud9 hasn't been able to research as much on Fnatic, that you can probably just expect anything from them.
Yeah, Fnatic, they did play at IEM Cologne. They beat CLG. They lost to Gambit. They got smashed by Gambit, I believe was your wording last weekend. And Fnatic, they're still learning with Reckless. We heard in the pre-match interview, Peke was saying, look, Reckless is strong, Reckless is good, but we're still going to learn, we're still going to adapt, and we'll see whether or not they've scrimmed enough leading into this to take home some European pride.
Absolutely. Trevor, who are you calling it for? Europe or North America?
So I actually think Cloud9 wants this a little bit more. And for this series, I think Cloud9's had 2 international losses. That's going to get them, biting and burning. And I'm calling it 2-1 to Cloud9.
What a crowd pleaser. What about you, Benny?
Oh, I was actually surprised by your predictions. Seeing that I'm the only NA person at this desk right now, I was going to say I will really, really want Cloud9 to win, although I might have to go with my gut and say Fnatic's going to win.
So we're both traitors. We both
we're traitors.
Well, I'm going to finalize it and go for Fnatic. But we'll see. Okay, we got to take a quick break, but when we return, it is the final fight in the Battle of the Atlantic. North America's Cloud9 versus Europe's Fnatic.